It's my absolute pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for our final session, Dr. Chandima DGMC, Assistant Professor of Buddhist Philosophy at Ateneo de Manila, serves as an Associate Editor of Journal of International Buddhist Studies, published by Mahachulalong Karuṇā Vidyalaya University in Thailand. Previously, he was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society at the University of Victoria, Canada. Held a position at Theravada Buddhist Chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada from 2012 to 2016. His latest peer-review publication, The Function of Contemporary Role of Abandoning the Training Rules in Pali Canon, appeared in the Journal of Buddhist Ethics, published by Pennsylvania State University Press, USA. His research rigorously engages with Buddhist hermeneutics, Buddhist ethics, and contemporary, offering critical insights into the intersection of canonical interpretation and contemporary Buddhist thought. He is currently exploring monastic reforms in Sri Lanka with an upcoming article addressing the response to crimes committed by novice and senior monks. We are honored to have Dr. DGMC with us today. But before we get a chance to highlighting the key moments and discussions of our conference. Thank you. Now, let us open our minds and hearts as we embark upon this thought-provoking journey as we hear from our valedictory Chandima DGMC. Please, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Assistant Professor Bhavya, and especially Dr. Ami, who invited me with the support of Dr. Preeti Oza from University of Mumbai. And I know that this conference is collaborated by many colleges and universities, including MISR, LRMC, GGSIPU, and GAP Bodhidharu. I mean, the title, when I look at the title, it's not about that we argue about whether we want to go by the artificial intelligence or not. I think all the presentations that may have been happening since yesterday up until now must have looked at how to go with artificial intelligence by promoting one's own, interdisciplinary aspects of their own subjects. So my task here is actually bringing you into another dimension about this topic. I mean, how to go with AI with compassion, responsibility, and awareness. So first of all, I wanted to be thankful to all these organizing members and actually giving me an opportunity to talk as a valedictorian over here. Okay, so let me go to the presentation. The ethics of AI from a spiritual perspective, compassion, awareness, and responsibility. Just to get by the time, I think now is, I think how long am I having for the presentation? 20 minutes, right? Okay, I had to be with that time, right? Compassion, awareness, and responsibility aspects of AI. I'm not going to pick up a certain religious tradition, rather looking at it from a basic spiritual perspective. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, and I have 30 slides. I'm not going to read all that. I'm going to recap certain areas of this topic. First of all, I want you to look at the opportunities. I think we all agree with regard to the opportunities. We understand that AI has been impacting in many ways. Societies have been so much impacted everywhere in the world, and we understand healthcare aspects, and then automobile industry and education tools. I think most of us are educators, and we have to now be very careful, because when we are giving an assignment title to students, when we are giving a research topic for students to write a thesis, we know that compared to 10, 15 years ago, students write in a very academic, in a very rigorous way, because they have these AI tools. Then we have to know AI much better to really understand whether they are creating this automation to write or whether they are trying to do research in today's world. Next slide. And we understand that AI can still be developed with regard to the human well-being, not even human well-being, well-being of everybody. As you can see that although there are certain aspects that have been developed in terms of healthcare, still there are more opportunities to actually be worked on, such as diagnosis aspects of healthcare, that is to detect, prevent certain diseases, sicknesses to go haywire in anybody. And also accessibility tools for disabilities, speech to text and those kind of things. And at the same time, disaster management aspects. So still, I mean, while we are very happy about AI, at the same time, we certainly hope that AI can really do a better job in the future with regard to all of your methodologies and the research that we've been seeing. There are challenges. What are the challenges? Now, we know that in today's world, if you go to a certain hiring website, any other such web portals, they are using certain algorithms in terms of hiring and policing. It might be good, but is it the only way that employers can really detect a potential good employee? So we see a certain systematic discrimination sometimes. And what about the surveillance concern, especially policing, law enforcement? I mean, are our data safe? Are they really with the right people? Are they really in the hand of the right people? Or there may be certain events, those websites, those law enforcement individuals are trying to apologize. Your data is, they are in the hand of different people. So definitely there should be more surveillance must happen. And what about job displacement? Due to automation, we know that many industries have been affected. So how to go hand in hand with human work and this automation? I mean, how to differently, get the maximum use of automation at the same time, real humans, and also healthcare diagnosis and judicial sentencing. I mean, there are certain areas to be developed with regard to AI, but still, AI has been doing a good job. And you can see autonomous weapons, predictive policing, and financial decisions. There are challenges still with regard to AI, but more or less, we can see a lot of developments. Okay, this is the part. Can spirituality foster ethical AI transformation? Now, when we think about spirituality, now, in today's world, there are people who might say, we don't want to be religious, but we are spiritual people. So then what is this being spiritual? How does this being spiritual really relate to AI platforms, especially with regard to the people who are using AI? The role of spirituality in providing deeper moral guidance beyond legal and technical consideration. We have to really consider legality and technicality, but time to time, those people who are working with AI, those people who are programming AI could think about certain higher ways, certain different ways to bring spirituality, not in a way to discriminate anybody, not in a way to ask people to be religious. Rather, when we are looking at our own spirits, this could really bring us a certain healthy, holistic, wholesome background to AI use. Okay, how do I bring these spiritual values into this AI concept? I believe that there is a role that the religious and spiritual communities can play, especially in shaping AI ethics. You may have seen that some times ago, the Roman Catholic Church in the Vatican, they issued a certain AI kind of a mandate. And even I believe that religious institutions, they can think about not just only sticking into their fundamental religious perspectives, can think about the world has been changing. Why don't we think about our religious practices and how we can bring our religious thoughts, philosophical thoughts, spiritual thoughts into this AI use? How can somebody use AI with some spiritual aspects. It's not that someone has to promote their own religion or spirituality, rather than using certain aspects like compassion, wisdom, respect, and those things. And bridging spirituality with AI governance. I mean, say for instance, all of a sudden, 500 workers are going to be laid off. Now, how to look at it from a compassionate perspective? I mean, probably there will be a certain profit loss happening in 5-6 years. So how to look at that profit loss by making sure that we want to think about the well-being of these people who are going to be laid off accordingly. How to do it? Are we going to keep half of them, and half of them going to be laid off? I mean, they can bring about certain aspects of compassion rather than maybe empathy, rather than thinking just go by with the numbers, and encouraging interdisciplinary collaboration, like exactly what you are doing here for the 2 days. You are bringing all these economics, political science, and all that into this in terms of technologies, ethicists, and spiritual leaders, to have a roundtable, forums, discuss what can we do together into one platform. Compassion. Compassion, according to our understanding, is going beyond empathy. We are trying to put us in other people's shoes, especially those moments of suffering. And compassion is a larger, broader version of empathy. So with regard to AI, there are moments, events where people are going to go through lots of pain with regard to AI's activities. Even you take social media, are people going to take their life just because they are very unhappy, frustrated about what's happening? So how to bring compassion on AI platforms into these people who are having a hard time? There are many examples. I think depending on the time, I'm not going to read all that. I will only read the name and then the example a little bit. AI in healthcare, we have to bring compassion over efficiency. A legal and technical system, the previous slide, please. A legal and technical system might approve an AI-driven decision to discontinue life support based on medical data. But spiritual perspectives may encourage considering the patient's dignity, family values, and emotional well-being. Think a little bit more. And then over to the next slide, please. AI in hiring, rather than, just go by the algorithm, also going to think about personal growth, ethics, long-term fulfillment. Automation and job displacement. A business legally automating jobs might still choose to provide retraining support to displaced workers inspired by values of compassion. So compassion can be brought up into challenging situations that can happen through AI. AI and privacy. You can see facial recognition technology for security still limit its use out of respect for individual dignity. So those companies, those platforms can still think about how to bring more ethics over surveillance all the time while having surveillance. Warfare, military AI could efficiently neutralize threats, but spiritual teachings on non-violence and compassion challenge the ethics of delegating warfare to machines. And think about when they are preparing AI-based warfare stuff, bringing certain kinds of compassion perspective. I mean, how are they going to be utilized in the warfield? Yeah, social media, we understand that, social media can maximize the use of AI, but a spiritual approach would prioritize fostering genuine relationships, thinking that why should I spend more time? I will use some time, but at the same time, I have to be, interacting with my family members, social structure. So I have to, AI should promote a balanced perspective. Okay, so you can understand that there are certain other case studies of compassionate action with regard to AI. AI has been doing something with regard to compassion. AI-powered diagnostic tools, and then mental health chat box, AI-driven disaster response. They're still doing something, but my suggestion is they should be able to elevate, enhance further aspects of compassion. awareness part. Second is awareness. So first is compassion, second is awareness. So definitely mindfulness, self-awareness part they are very important in ethical decision making and making us very aware about what we are doing with AI. You can see that it's really helping society, economy, relationships, right? And social media algorithms, AI-based. Now, we understand in today's world, a lot of people are looking for their relationships, even marriage through certain matchmaking systems. Are they really good? I mean, we are not saying that they are bad, but how to bring about certain awareness? Sometimes people are scammed, through these systems. So how to bring about certain awareness for those people who are going to look for virtual relationships, probably going for an arranged marriage, probably going for even certain other relationship, different relationship models in today's world, even sugar daddy, sugar mom concept in some countries. They are bringing AI into help people finding these people. The problem is that are the people who are using these platforms really going into their purposes, or are they getting into a lot of criminal problems as well? So I think definitely we have to people who are creating AI have to make people aware about the pros and cons of all these. And we can see, AI can develop awareness through climate models, educational platforms, accessibility tools. And at the moment, we understand there are AI ethics reviews done by Google, Microsoft, and explainable AI is done by IBM, AI explainable 362 toolkit, AI impact assessments, you can say AIA and all that. Still there are things in place, but there are a lot to be done actually. Responsibility is our last aspects of spiritual aspect to AI. Everybody who is creating AI platforms, who are using AI platform, who are monitoring AI platform, should take a responsibility so that the use of AI will be more wholesome. I'm saying that these are the responsible groups. Developers, you can see, OpenAI, let's say, corporations, governments, and users like us. Okay, let's take developers. I mean, what are their responsibilities? Ethical, they are supposed to adopt ethical AI principles, mitigate bias, ensure explainability, conduct ethical AI audits, build AI for social. I think these are important for them to really focus on in terms of being responsible in creating a holistic approach with regard to the overall plan, overall purpose of AI using. What about cooperation? There are different other responsibilities that they are supposed to carry. AI ethics boards, AI impact assessments, AI accountability, prioritize user privacy and security, transparency. So if they are really taking care of these parts, I hope that there will be a more holistic aspect with regard to spiritual aspect of responsibilities. Governments, definitely, legislation part, enforcing AI risk assessments, protect consumer rights, ethics education, especially with regard to schools, universities, international collaboration, especially with regard to international organizations, even government aspects. And finally, users like us. I mean, how can we take a responsibility in using AI? Or are we just trying to make it as an open activity? Or are we really trying to use it with some carefulness, some mindfulness, some compassion? So we always have to choose ethical AI services, being informed, report AI bias and unfair practices, engage in AI policy discussions, and use AI consciously. This is very interesting, especially with regard to academic world, to avoid plagiarism, to avoid, writing something, really with regard to academic without actually taking somebody else's things and taking the credit. Yeah. Key takeaways. AI is not separate from ethics, but stronger oversight is needed. That's number one with regard to spirituality. And what spirituality is bringing forward to AI is that we need a strong oversight as AI rapidly evolves. Spiritual wisdom for ethical AI is important too, like mindfulness, compassion, ethical living. Ethical living is very important. Most of the religions, philosophies, spiritual traditions talk about it because with regard to AI, I mean, misbehavior, some crimes can happen. So definitely we, as users, those who are creating AI things, they should, take, a good emphasis. They should place an emphasis about this part, spiritual wisdom part. Second, awareness, as I said, then responsibility, which we just discussed. Finally, before we finalize, technology with regard to AI shapes the world. There's no question about it. But ethics shapes technology. The problem is that how much can virtual platforms be virtuous? So virtuality and ethics, or maybe virtues. What is the importance of ethics? What is the importance of spiritual tradition with regard to the ethics? So when lot of information, most of our information, security data, passport information, our what you call personal information with regard to health, when they are going to be on a database structure, then everybody who are supposed to take care of this information, who are trying to maintain, who are trying to liaison, they definitely need to think about ethics side too, because somebody's very important information are with them. So that's why, spiritually speaking, we need to bring these three aspects into AI as much as possible, from user aspects, cooperation aspect, government aspects, and content creator aspects. So then definitely let's think that compassion, awareness, responsibility will make up for a better AI use in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. You have shown us a unique perspective that is rarely discussed when technology is in the forefront of a conversation. Dr. Chandima highlighted that AI is more than just technology and it's a human issue. As AI reshapes healthcare, education, we must ground its development in compassion, awareness, and responsibility. And now I would like to request Ms. Nilangsha Sachadev